Welcome back to another episode of Sisters in Crime with Shy and Toy. My name is Toy, short for Latoya,
And I'm Shy, and it's short for Shamia.
and we right back at it with the true crime because y'all don't know how to act. So
Exactly.
it's always something. Now this ain't a really recent case, but this one
Mm-mm.
is very intriguing. And I'm gonna
Mhm.
just go ahead and preface this by saying trigger warning on every damn thing.
Everything. When I tell
Um,
you, we getting double flags today.
yes, if you
Double
have a
flags.
weak stomach,
Do
this
not.
might not be for you.
No, ain't no might. It is not for you.
So go
Because,
ahead and exit,
yeah, you can tune into some of our other videos, you know?
but just not this one.
Yeah, not this one.
To
Because
the left, to the left.
the, everything, what she say?
Everything you own in the box to the left.
Yeah, I forgot the lyrics, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, don't skip over this one, please, because y'all, even when we were researching it, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Yes,
Yes,
that happened to me several times because
yeah,
not so much the like with the online research, but the podcast, listening to
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I had to stop. I had to pause because I was like, I can't take no more. Like
yeah,
I physically, I felt my stomach flipping.
yeah,
So I don't want to hear about it in the comments. Don't be saying, you don't want to hear this, that, and third. We warning you right
yeah,
now. Go
yeah,
ahead and make your exit. We're gonna give you a
yep,
little time.
yep.
4, 3,
Not the countdown.
2, and 1.
Not the countdown.
The countdown. So if you still here, welcome.
Yes.
It's gonna be a whirlwind roller
Hmm.
coaster today,
Yes.
and I will go ahead and let my beautiful sister start us off again. Chill out. Get your wine.
Hmm.
Get your little tea. Get you a bucket.
Hmm.
Might need to regurgitate some things.
Yes, it's the weekend, so y'all can unwind. Take your wig off if you wear a
And
wig.
while we're recording this on a Friday, Cinco de Mayo is Sunday.
Yes.
So I don't know about y'all. I'm trying to do something. I don't know what. I just want to go eat tacos and tequila and drink some tequila.
So
I don't
I
know where I'm
want to.
going though.
I want to do it too.
Hmm.
I got something to do earlier in the day on Sunday. However, I'm nervous that if I wait until the afternoon, I'm not gonna get in anywhere. So
Yeah.
I am thinking about just doing something here at home.
Yeah.
So because I do not like crowds. I do not
Hmm.
wait for food. Like I do not wait hours and hours in line for food. Nope.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that's gonna happen unless I can find somewhere where it's not bad.
Hmm.
Cool. But I'm not. I'm entertaining just making some stuff at the house.
I don't know yet. I thought about it, but I was like, I don't know if I really want to cook. I do have to go to church that morning. So, but
Hmm.
after church, I was like, I might slide somewhere. I might see what the scene is looking
Hmm.
at like around here.
Yeah.
I've been trying to see what's
Yeah.
going on, but I've been so busy with work this week. I haven't had time to look. But I will do
Right.
that tonight because I need a
Sis,
game plan.
you know what I want? I really want Maria's. I really do.
I do too, but you already know they're gonna be swole.
Yeah.
I'm not even
And
gonna try it.
get up there when they open. I can't get up there when they open. So
Not even gonna try it. Maria's is
no.
gonna be out the parking lot.
Yeah, and I'm not doing it.
Like
That's
I can
something.
do maybe just a small crowd, like maybe 45-minute wait, but I know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, you'll be out there for hours.
Yeah, I'm not. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I will cook at home before I do that.
Yeah, I really hope they got a game plan for Sunday because just a regular Saturday is ridiculous. So I can't imagine like on Sunday.
Cinco de
So
Mayo.
yeah,
Wherever I go,
hmm,
just know they're gonna be serving birria tacos.
yeah, that's all I really need.
If it ain't birria, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's all I need.
That's
That
it.
is all.
And a couple margaritas.
Yes,
Listen, I can't be out all night because I gotta work first thing in the morning. So
same,
just a little chill vibe.
same.
Just
Yeah,
parlay a little bit.
yeah. Just catch a vibe and come home.
That's
That's
it. And
it.
just go home and then sleep it off for work tomorrow. The
Yep.
next day.
Yep. I just
We
want
got
to have a good time. Like I
that's
said,
it.
I can have a good time at home.
Yes.
If it get a little too much, I can have a good time at home.
Hmm. And what if that's the case, then what I will do is order my birria to go
Yep,
and make my own margaritas
exactly.
and have a ball in this house. You hear me?
And have a time.
Or have a time. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with Miss Omaima Ari Nelson.
Hmm.
I think that's how you say the middle name.
I think so, but yeah, it's definitely Omaima. I
Yeah,
just know her name is Omaima Nelson. I didn't think of her. I wasn't thinking of
yeah.
her
Her
middle
middle
name.
name is Aree. I think that's spelled Ari. I mean, I
Yeah,
think that's pronounced Ari.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
quote me on that. She's Egyptian. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. Beautiful woman, but
very much so.
yeah, but y'all, we about to get into it. So beauty. Look, beauty ain't everything. Let me stop. I have a thought, so I'm gonna get into the game. Sorry, y'all. So sorry, I get hyped. Sorry. Um, so y'all, picture it. It is December 1st, 1991, and a gentleman named Jose Escobar, can't remember how they pronounce. I think it's Escobar. He was at home sleeping and woke up to a loud knock on the door. He didn't answer. See, Jose sounds like me because if I didn't invite you and you're knocking on the door, I'm not
You
getting up.
gonna be knocking.
You gonna be knocking. So he didn't answer. So he looked outside though and he saw a red Corvette. He said it didn't look familiar, so he went back to bed. So then he noticed that the woman kept knocking on the door. So he noticed that she left, and then 4 hours later she returned. So when he looked out the window, he recognized, he was like, "Oh, I do know who's knocking on my door." And it happened to be a young lady named Omaima. So Omaima Nelson, he had dated her a year earlier. So he ended up letting her in. He observed that she had some injuries and she was just very upset. So she got to telling him, what happened. So she told Jose that her and her husband had got in a fight. He had attacked her. She said that he tried to tie her up and R'd her, the R word. I'm not going to say that, the R word. And she indicated that she was able to escape and she needed help. So in the midst of the conversation, she admits that she on a live bill. So hold on, pause. You done went from attacking to escaping, and then you admit that you killed Bill. Okay. So, Jose, as we go along, you will see why he could be my friend because I like the way he
Right.
handled his business. Okay. So Omaima, just a background about Omaima. So Omaima was born in Egypt. She grew up very poor in a farming family. Her parents had split, so she ended up going with her mother, and they moved to Cairo. So if y'all don't know, Cairo is called the City of the Dead, really because of its harsh environment. It is surrounded by tombs and graves, and it was very depressing for her. She just longed for a better life. She really wanted that flashy life, that that how y'all do. Y'all still do that crap to this day. Anyway,
Mhm.
all right, I'm gonna get on track. Sorry. Um, so when she was 18, 19, we're in 1986. When she was 18, she actually met an American oil worker. So if y'all know people who are in the oil industry, they make a little coin. So she got involved with this man, and her family ended up intervening and suggested that they get married. So guess what she did? She married him. I can't remember the age difference of this man, but he was significantly older than her, right? So after they got married, she moved to America with this man, and then you know, they start their life together. But as soon as they moved back, they split. So imagine how mom is feeling, like she's in America, she's alone, she really doesn't know, she's alone, she really doesn't know how to speak English, she's just a stranger in a foreign land. It was very overwhelming. So she ended up, using her beauty to, take care of herself, no judgment. She had to do what she had to do. So she was very beautiful, which provided her opportunities. Like men would, of course, just go crazy over her. That's how she survived over the years. She would meet men in bars and have several brief relationships. See, she sounds exactly like a lot of y'all. Have brief
Okay.
relationships here and there, to pay them bills, no judgment. But that's just how she did. That was apparently that was just kind of like the scene. I'm just teasing y'all, but apparently
Sprinkle,
that was
sprinkle,
right.
sprinkle, sprinkle,
But before that was Shira Seven. Is it it's
sprinkle,
Shira,
sprinkle.
right?
Sure.
Shira before it was Shira's Omaima, but
Period.
they do have a big difference. We're gonna get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, Omaima moved to Orange County. Apparently, this was the area that girls went to hopefully achieve that dream of fame and success. Um, it was a struggle because Omaima, even though she was meeting these men and at the bars and that's how she was getting by, she still didn't have any job skills. She ended up cleaning and like working as a nanny and also on the side working as a model. So back to I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. So and we're gonna go this route. So in 1991, like I said, she was in the bar and she actually caught the eye of a man named Bill Nelson. Now, apparently, Bill had this big personality. He was from Texas. He wore the cowboy boots. He had the big buckle, like they do down there in Texas. He was just very kind of like flashy and out there. He owned a red Corvette. Appearance wise, it looked like he was a rich Texas man. He claimed he owned a lot. Now the thing is though, Omaima, I think at this time she's 23 in
Mm-hmm.
1991. Now Bill is 56. Okay, no judgment, but yes, she's 23. He's 56. Now Bill had 5 kids at this point and 17 grandkids. All right,
Five.
5 children. All
Five.
right. Now, a lot of people were like, oh my God, she's 23, he's 56. But apparently, Omaima did not mind because she liked older men because in her mind, older man, he can take care of me. So that was her perspective. They said Bill didn't act like they were, apparently they act like teenagers when they were together. They were, giddy. They had fun. Apparently, they got serious after 4 weeks. Just 4 weeks a day, and they were serious. So less than a month, he had asked her to go on a road trip to Arkansas and Texas so that she can meet his friends and family. Now, initially, y'all, his kiss was like, "Oh hell no! Like, what the hell you doing, Daddy? No, sir. Like, why are you bringing her?" Because apparently, Omaima was younger than some of his children, y'all. And yeah, I could understand, their concerns with that, but um, they still got to know her. Now, at first, like I said, they were suspicious, but they still gave her a chance. Apparently, there was this instance where she had this horseback riding accident and she just kind of dusted herself off, treated her own injuries, got back up, got on the horse, and kept riding. So that kind of made them look at her differently, that, she was a strong woman, could take care of herself and stuff. So that kind of changed the game. So after a few weeks of visiting the friends and family, they decided to return home and settle in an apartment that they said they resided in together. So on Thanksgiving, Bill had spoke to his stepdaughter and he said everything was okay. They had a big dinner. He had cooked and they just had, he said they were happy. Everything was great. So 3 days later, things take a turn. So we're now back to December 1st, 1991. I hope that was not confusing. We just had to do a little background on Bill and on mine. So 3 days later, here is when, after everything was great, Bill said everything was great. Now we have Omaima knocking on Jose's door frantically 3 days later, saying she needed help. She had been attacked and she killed her husband. So Omaima asked Jose to go to the house. She indicated that he had her hands tied. Like I said, she was able to get one of her arms loose. She was able to grab an object to strike Bill in the head. And she alleged that that's how she killed him. So he indicated that the most shocking thing was she wanted him to help her discard the body. She said she had cut him up, put him in trash bags. She offered Jose $75,000 and 2 motorcycles to help her discard of this body. So Jose, he played along like, yeah, okay. He played like he was going to get the truck and everything was all good. He was all game. Jose said, oh, hell no. He went to a payphone, called the police, and he said, look, I got this crazy ass woman. She said she didn't did this and ABC, and y'all need to come out.
Good for him.
Right. Good for,
Good
good
for
for Jose.
Jose.
Right. So, like I said, he called the police. The police come back to the apartment with Jose where they find Omaima just distraught. Um, Appearance wise, it looked like her story was, true, that she had been sexually assaulted and abused by her husband. It looks like she had some injuries like on her breast area and her arms and stuff. She asks, of course the police are asking her, do you need assistance? So she's like, no. And they're asking her about her husband, because keep in mind, Jose has told them some stuff. And she was like, no, my husband's alive. He's on a business trip in Florida. She was extremely cooperative. She said he's on a business trip and she was not able to reach him. So police begin to get some suspicious because of course Jose has called them, and they come and it's just like she's acting like everything's okay, but she just like totally changed the story. So they ended up going back to the apartment where she resided with Bill, opened up the door of her red Corvette that she drove to Jose's house. They look in the passenger seat and there is a bag, y'all, in the passenger seat. One of the officers opened up the bag and there was human organs in the bag. The police were flabbergasted. They just jumped back because they could not believe. So then of course they called the coroner because, okay, now it's time to call the coroner. So they ended up checking and it was the lungs, a human lungs. The coroner had, one of the police look at it. He said, look at this. He said, do you see what, because there was a lot of black marks on the lungs. He said, look at this. He said, do you see what this is? And he was like, no. He was like, this is the evidence of someone who has smoked a lot, the black marks. So immediately they knew she was lying, that she was trying to say he was alive and in Florida. They knew she was lying from that point. So after this, they take her to the police station for questioning. Like I said, they went to the home. Now, while they're questioning her, they are having officers go to the home to see what's going on. So they couldn't get in. Well, of course, since they are suspecting that Bill is alive, they're knocking on the door. No one comes to the door. So they ended up breaking the window to get into the apartment. So while they're questioning her, she's kind of pacing back and forth. She wouldn't sit down. So the officers, while they're at the apartment, they're going through the apartment and they see that it is an absolute mess. There's stuff everywhere. They said that Bill kind of programmed computers and did computer work on the side. So there was computer systems everywhere and equipment everywhere. And it was just a whole mess. So the interview with Omaima took about 3 hours. Like I said, she wouldn't sit down. She was talking in third person. She was talking about that she was hallucinating and she denied that Bill was dead continuously. Basically, she was saying that in regards to Jose, her ex, who had snitched on her, she said he was. Yeah, she said that he was lying on her. They asked her about the organs. She blamed it on Bill, said he was dangerous. Basically, I guess she was saying that the organs were, a person that Bill killed and that she didn't have nothing to do with it. She said he was recently paroled for 4 years for drug smuggling and that she claimed he had R several women. And she still continued with the story that he had tied her up and R'd her too. It's still in her mind. She didn't believe he was dead. She still, didn't really explain why the organ was. She tried to explain why the organs were there. It just didn't make sense. So police ended up, since she kept saying repeatedly that she was R'd by Bill, of course, they sent her to the hospital and then, they complete an R kit and also she gets treatment for her injuries. So now my sister's going to continue the case with them back at the apartment.
So, meanwhile, time between time, while she at the hospital, the police is over at that apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to get into the apartment, and right off they noticed it was a clutter. Apparently, Bill was kind of like a computer programmer, so it was a lot of boxes and stuff. He would assemble computers and stuff from parts. But at first glance, nothing appeared to be wrong in this apartment besides, maybe a little slight hoarding situation. So, as investigators start looking a little more closely, they see drops of blood here and there throughout the apartment. Then, as they start peeling back them computer boxes, they see several trash bags, just like the trash bags Omaima had in the Corvette. And inside those trash bags was even more body parts. Okay? They also found a broken lamp and an iron. And they went to the kitchen, y'all, and they found hands in a frying pan that were cooked alongside some white turkey meat from Thanksgiving.
All the groceries you could have cooked. All the groceries you could have cooked.
The hands with the turkey meat from Thanksgiving.
Out
Okay.
of out of all the groceries you could have cooked. Apparently she had hot dogs and everything in there.
So then they opened the freezer. In the freezer had some hot dogs, and also there was a head in the freezer, a
Yeah.
human head,
Like one of these, y'all.
and
One of
it
these.
had been it was kind of it was bad because it had you can tell it had been deep fried, so it was badly burned. So I guess somebody dropped in some oil. I don't know what that was about. It's not funny. It's not funny. But what's the thought process there? Okay, so they go to the bedroom. It's just from one room to another. It's just a horror show.
Yes.
They go to the bedroom. Now, in the bedroom, they did find two broken bedposts, which kind of appeared to match, what her mama said. She said that Bill had tried to R her, tied her up. So they was like, okay, thinking maybe that's how she got free, two broken bedposts. They
Mm-hmm.
ripped off the sheets of the bed, and there was so much blood on the mattress that it soaked all the way through the box spring. The mattress went straight to the box spring. That's a lot of blood, y'all.
That's a lot of blood. Yeah.
So when the investigators start looking at these remains, they noticed that around on the ankles that there were some reddish black marks. And I don't know if y'all know or if you doing look at enough true crime or watch enough investigative shows, but that's indicative of someone being tied up. So that's the first clue that they got that's not adding up with what Omama is saying. Omama don't know all this going on right now because
Mm-hmm.
old girl is over at the hospital being examined for a sexual assault exam. So they document her injuries because she did have, look like she may have been in a little scuffle or something. But the results of the sexual assault exam came back negative, and her injuries were determined to not be indicative of a struggle.
Mm.
They found no evidence of either vaginal or anal trauma. So you ain't had no sex. Ain't no, I mean, I can't say she ain't had sex. There's no evidence or no indication that you were art or sexually assaulted. Okay, they
Mm.
said that these type of injuries were more so in line with someone who had dismembered a human body. And I'm assuming because that takes a lot of effort, that takes a lot of strength to sit there and cut up a body. Quite naturally, you're probably gonna get some nicks and cuts and bruises here and there.
Yeah.
So they take her from the hospital back to the police station, and then I guess when she was put up against the wall, that's when she admitted that he was dead and she confessed to killing him. But she says she does not remember how she killed him. She remember she was hallucinating the first time they interviewed her. She said the only thing she remembers that I guess she blacked out and she woke up and she recalls seeing trash bags throughout the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So she also said that something inside her told her that she had to do it and that it was demons. Like, girl, what kind of demons? You need an exorcism? So it only gets crazier.
Yep.
So she also spoke of drug use and said she was having visions. So quite naturally, the police locked that ass up, transferred her to jail, and that is where she remained because her bail was so high,
Yeah.
she wasn't able to cover it, so she wasn't able to be let out of custody. And in a case like that, she should not have gotten a bail to begin with, I feel. But
Right.
anyway, after they do their examination, the medical examiner confirmed that the remains did in fact belong to Bill Nelson. He said that Bill suffered such a violent death. There were more than 25 wounds on
Mhm.
the skull alone.
Alone. Yes.
And then what what startled them was they said that she cut Bill up
Yep.
as if she was a professional. So now they wondering, hell, she done did this before?
She was a professional. They said
Professional.
it was precision. They
Yes.
were deeply concerned because, like, they said it was just like very
Yes.
skilled, like
And
she knew what to do.
so and my radar, like my little antennas was I said, whoa,
Yeah, yeah,
you know how to cut a body, where you learn that from?
yeah.
Okay.
That's a skill that no one needs to have. But where did
She
you get it
got it.
from, man?
She got that on her resume. Okay.
Yes,
Now y'all hold on to your buckets. Trigger warning on everything on this next part.
yes.
So they weighed poor Bill Nelson's remains, and there was between 80 to 100 pounds of him missing. Come to find out, she never admitted to it. But we know, because if we see hands in a frying pan and we see a head in a freezer, she had ate the rest of him
Because y'all know, like, why do we put things in a fryer to make it taste good?
to make it tasty. She
So,
ate the rest of Bill. So
y'all,
the family ain't getting his whole body to even put him in the ground.
she
Oh,
had baked
mama, girl,
she
you
had baked
had
these
Thanksgiving
ribs.
dinner?
She had baked his ribs and put barbecue sauce on them. She
Like,
said they were sweet.
girl, what?
Insane.
What they do to say? So mind y'all, this is around the same time as Jeffrey Dahmer.
Uh
So
huh.
not only, they looking at that case, they looking at this like, wait a minute, this is a concern. Here we have this woman, she's very skilled, very, precise in cutting up dismembering this man's body, and she ate him. Like, could this possibly be another serial killer? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So the investigators go speak to the next door neighbor because they want to make sure they have a solid case.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbor did tell them that he recalled hearing that garbage disposal the whole weekend, and the neighbor said that garbage disposal ran until it broke. And then shortly after, that's when her ass popped up on Jose's front door.
Yeah.
So allegedly, she was using the garbage disposal to dispose of some of his body parts. I don't know, like a lot of people do that. I don't know what y'all be thinking, but it's not going to dispose of everything. So that's going to be one of the first things the police look at. I mean, not to give you no tips or nothing,
Yeah.
but this ain't the first time I've heard of this in a true crime case. That's the
Yeah.
wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So investigators start looking into her past. Okay. When they look into her past, because as we said, when she came over from Egypt at the age of 18, she was using men for stability. Now she was modeled part-time, but it wasn't that lucrative. So they started looking into her background, which quite naturally, if you being suspected of a crime, that's the first thing they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
They find quite a few things. So they found that when she was in Texas, she was with a man by the name of Robert Hansen. Now, when she was with Robert said that there was an incident. Basically, allegedly, Robert was using Omaima for sex, and I guess he was giving her money, even exchange. This is what she did. So on one night in question, she wanted some money, and Robert says to her, "What you gonna do for me?" And she said, "I'ma show you." So she ties Robert up. He agreed to it. But once he was tied up, she pulled out a handgun and said she was going to kill him if he did not give her the money. Now, fortunately for Robert, he was able to wrestle himself free. He was able to get the gun out of her hands and kick her out of the house. But at the time, poor Robert did not press charges for the simple fact that he was embarrassed, because here he is, this big strong man, and got manipulated by this little beautiful woman, beautiful
Mm-hmm.
Egyptian woman.
Mm-hmm.
Also in her past, because she has no job skills, no history, no work history, none of that. She was just she used to clean houses sometimes. Like I said, part-time model. Described as very beautiful, slender with olive skin and doe-like eyes. They described her as a low rent gold digger. So
That's
she ain't asking
exactly
for diamonds and pearls and stuff. She just wants stability.
that's what
So
they called her. That is exactly what
low
he
rent
said.
gold digger.
Yep.
I made sure to write that down.
Yes.
So so also in her history is some petty theft. So they found out there was an instance this one time she was caught stealing from a department store. When she was confronted by security,
Mm-hmm.
she attacked both of them and almost completely bit one of their breasts off. Like, do you know what it takes to bite off
Almost
a
bite.
breast? Like,
Yes.
almost bite it to where it's like detached from her body. So she was convicted of shoplifting and battery for that incident, and she was sentenced to only a few months in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So quite naturally, they reach out to old Robert Hansen. They talk to him. He confirms the story, which they like. Okay, cool. So every they building up this case against Omaima because they done dug down in their history and see, okay, this girl got some shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
So um after um after they located him, they not only did they decide to charge Omaima with the murder of Bill, they throw in the assault charges from Robert Hansen as well. I said, how they even do that? Like that happened years ago. It was way in Texas, y'all in California. You just gonna throw that in there too? Like
Mm-hmm.
we gonna
They
do it
got
all?
what? They're trying to find anything to make it stick.
Yes. And what they said her motive was that she just manipulated men to get what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is it really a manipulation if the men are aware? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So her trial began exactly 1 year and 1 day after the police found Bill's body. Trial begins on December 2nd, 1992. A lot came out in this trial, so bear with me. So they suspected that she wanted money or something from Bill on the night in question, and Bill refused her, which sent her into a rage. Now, as I stated, they threw in Robert Hansen's charges as well, so they put him on the stand to tell his side of it. Now, the defense is where it gets very interesting. So the defense didn't deny at all that Omaima killed Bill, because at this point, the evidence is clear as water.
Mm-hmm.
So they argued that she had a reason. So allegedly, Bill was continuously abusing and battering Omaima. So she allegedly was being arred and sexually assaulted by him several times. And it was sex for her. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. Sex for her mom was very painful because, as we stated, she grew up in Egypt. While she was in Egypt at the age of 7, she was made to undergo female circumcision. Not only was she made to undergo female circumcision, she underwent the worst kind where they cut off her clitoris. So she had a lot of scar tissue, and it made sex extremely painful for her. Not only that, she also came from a very dysfunctional background in childhood. So she had a chaotic family situation. Her parents split because her father was violent. He had an extremely bad temper, And allegedly, Omaima says that she was continuously assaulted by men in her family, as well, and abused from her dad as well. So she had horrible trauma, and she coped with this trauma and abuse by retreating from her reality. So they're trying to set up an insanity defense, right? Because she stated she don't remember what happened. All she remembers is waking up and seeing trash bags all over the apartment. So that's important. So the psychologist they called for the defense said that Omaima was deeply disturbed. They said she began to fantasize that she had was a descendant from ancient Egyptians, and they either talked through her or acted through her. Now, there was never any evidence that Omaima was, R-worded or sexually assaulted, but she said it was an everyday thing. She said Bill demanded oral sex daily, and it came with name calling, which she found extremely degrading. Apparently, she claims Bill was angry on Thanksgiving because Omaima did not give him oral sex the way that he liked it. And so he started degrading her. And they said she snapped and became psychotic, and the ancient Egyptians helped her kill him and dismember her body. They told her to do this, so they were working through her. So like I said, they directed her to kill Bill, dismember her body. But I want to add, like my sister said, she mentioned she cooked the ribs and put some barbecue sauce on it, and they were sweet. But she came back later and she kept saying that she didn't eat him. She wouldn't do something like that. But she definitely had told investigators that at one point. Okay. Not only that, you have a deep fried head and you got hands in the frying pan. What you cooking them for? There's other accounts that say she put the hands in the frying pan to get rid of the fingerprints. I don't know how true it is since you already cooking ribs.
Yeah, and you tasted them, so
Now you taste them and you say
I
they taste good.
look. I don't know. Listen, it's kind of hard to, Omaima.
Yes.
It's kind of hard.
So the prosecution immediately dismisses that.
Yes.
Oh, Mama takes the stand, and she said, the relationship with Bill was a nightmare. The same thing I just told you, sexual assault. He threatened to say, even alleged that on their honeymoon trip for her to, go meet his family, said that he tried to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
But she said there was a violent sexual encounter on Thanksgiving night, the night in question, and she grabbed the first thing she could, which was a lamp. And then after that, she grabbed something else, which was an iron. She's hitting Bill with these items, hence the broken lamp and the iron in the trash bag. And then next thing you know, she grabbing a pair of scissors. So she said her memory goes dark after that. And she found herself alone in the apartment a day later, and she didn't know what to do, and she was confused because she felt like a stranger. So the prosecution plays a video of this trip where they were, on their honeymoon because they was dating for 4 weeks, went to go get married on their way to meet Bill's family. So on this trip in Arizona, there was a video recording, and they were happy and in love, like just like a couple of teenagers. Like there was no indication that any incident or anything had happened on that trip, or that he threatened to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Like my sister said, Bill had talked to his stepdaughter the like Thanksgiving and said, they were good, like they were happy, everything was cool, whatever. So the case went to jury on December the 17th. They have a lot of evidence, but a lot of it was he said, she said as well, except Bill wouldn't there to tell his story, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And on January the 12th of 93, the jury announced that they had reached a verdict. It was no longer a question if she did it. We know she did it. The question was whether it was first degree murder or manslaughter. Because, mind you, for it to be first degree murder, there has to be some planning involved. It has to be premeditated. So it took the jury about a week to deliberate, and they found her guilty of murder, but they couldn't agree together on first degree murder, so they gave her the lesser charge of second degree murder. And the reason being, there wasn't anything presented that would show premeditation. So not only did they find her guilty of that, remember I said they threw Robert Hansen's charges in there. They also found her guilty of assault with a deadly weapon and for the attempted robbery of Robert Hansen. So she received 25 years to life in prison. Now the psychologist who, evaluated her was kind of upset by this because the psychologist felt that she was very mentally disturbed and prison was not the appropriate setting for Omaima, and that instead she should be in a facility where she can get treatment because she was obviously mentally ill and sick.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Omaima's still a mama, right? So in the 90s, at some point, there was she married an elderly man in a wheelchair who ended up passing away and left her bukus of money. When they got married, the man was already in his 70s. She like them old. She used them for their money. They don't care. They just like a young, pretty thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she tried to, when he passed away, old girl tried to get access to that money. And the judge was like, no, baby, not until you get out of prison.
Mm.
So it's crazy how even behind bars, she's still finding men to take care of her. And additionally, y'all, she came up for parole in 2006. It was denied. She came up for parole in 2011. It was denied.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time she will be eligible for parole again is 2026, and she will be 58 years old. Now, it's not been confirmed, but from what I hear, when she gets out, if she gets out, her plans are to get that money from her prison husband, the husband that passed away. He was going to see her in prison in his wheelchair, y'all.
Yeah.
She's gonna get that money from that account, and she's allegedly going back to Egypt. I don't know if her mom would still be alive, or what family she has over there. But allegedly, when she gets out, she wants to go back to Egypt. But I just don't think she needs to get out. The reason she kept getting denied parole is because she has not done any treatment. She has not shown any remorse. Like, she is the same she went in as she is today. She did not seek any, medical, mental treatment or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Never once admitted. I mean, she admitted her guilt, but she's still leaning on that. I blacked out. It was the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, which we hear a lot of times. People think they're descendants of Cleopatra and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
But ancient Egyptians told you to kill that man
And dismember him
and eat
precisely.
him,
Precisely.
dismember him and eat him.
Yeah. You baked his ribs and put. I wonder was it Sweet Baby Ray's or Mr.
Honey
Stubb?
barbecue.
It had. She said it was sweet, so since it had to be.
And you deep fried his head. What was you gonna do with that?
And his hands,
And you put the head in the freezer next to the hot dogs
like she was gonna save it for later.
with the rest of the Thanksgiving food.
And out of all the food you had in there, because they said you had vegetables, you had hot dogs, out of all that stuff you ate, that man, you telling me you couldn't have whipped no meal up? What?
Like,
Girl, that's insane.
it's very disturbing and off-putting because if you wanted money, you sat there and told Jose that he had $75,000 in the safe. If anything,
Yeah.
why not steal the money and
Yeah.
run off?
And leave. I'm just sorry, with him being old, he he probably was like a loud sleeper or one of those
Yes.
old men that fall asleep real easily. You could have got that money and dipped. He would have never known
He
to
would have
do
never known. Now, the only part that kind of made me feel bad for her
that.
for a
Mm-hmm.
split second
Yeah.
was the female circumcision.
Yeah. And her family.
Because
Yeah.
and her family,
Mm-hmm.
because we know the dynamics of a younger woman dating an older man. We
Mm-hmm.
know what that entails. For you
Yeah.
to get this money, you're
You
gonna
have
have to
to.
give up a little meow. Okay.
What he say on what the man said on barbershop? What he say?
What?
What he say? You gotta give some trim. What is it? I forgot what he
Oh,
said. Yeah.
I'm a he said something. I'm gonna give some trim and
And
then I'm
you
gonna
get a
get
little
some
trim or
trim.
something like that. Yeah.
So you gotta put out a little something to get that money. That money
Yeah.
just don't come at no cost.
What y'all need to be praying for is a sugar daddy that don't want no
They
sugar.
don't want. That's what I'm praying for.
Right.
A sugar daddy don't want no sugar.
Not me. I pray that for you.
that don't want no
Yeah.
sugar
Yeah.
until my husband come. Okay,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
I said I like and for it to be so painful for her.
Yeah. That
Like
was
that's why
awful.
it female circumcision is illegal in America, but over in Africa, I don't know. Apparently, at the time, it wasn't. So it's usually a ritual that is done by a lot of like the female elders of the village and stuff, and they do it to what's the word I'm looking for? I guess to kind of I don't want to say humble the woman, but try to make it to where she's not so sexual in nature or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I could be saying the wrong word because it's slipping my mind the exact word I heard in the podcast I heard. But anyway, it's done, it really is done as a means to control the woman.
Yeah.
Just bottom
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
um so I felt bad for her on that, and the scar tissue, and depending on who did it, like there's instances where it can be done just somebody's
Yeah.
house or something. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was not a medical professional.
Yeah. They did say that it was like no anesthesia.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
no sterilized utensils.
yeah,
That was just awful.
yeah. That kind of I hurt when I was reading. I was like, oh, I had to close my legs real quick. I said, oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I cannot imagine. Oh my god.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah.
That's the only part I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
The rest of the shit,
Yeah. I roll my eyes at everything but that,
I'm
but
gonna be waiting on 2026, and you better not get out then.
she's not going this woman's never gonna get out. I,
Not
uh,
with her not even, getting no mental health treatment.
yeah, no, I don't see her getting out at all.
If in
Mm-mm.
the event that what she says is true, and deceased ancient Egyptians are talking to her, you need help.
Yeah, and then y'all, okay, hypothetically, okay, if they let her out, they're not letting her out. Like she's gonna be put somewhere. Like
Yeah.
she might, they might kind of level her down, but
Mhm.
I don't ever see her being able to go back to Egypt. Oh
Because
no.
I was gonna say, she's gonna be a little parole snitch.
But
She
my
might be a
thing
little
is,
parole.
sweetheart, and I mean, not to question her. I mean, because I hate to ask her anything, okay,
Right.
but
She's beautiful, but I don't even want to be in the same room as her.
right, no, but why would you want to go back to Egypt, somewhere that you ran so far from? Like you said, you didn't want to stay there,
And you
but what
said coming to America was your ticket to
was your
freedom.
ticket to freedom? So why do you want to go back there? I don't understand.
I mean, they the ones that did all that to you allegedly in the beginning, at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, but
No shade to my Egyptians,
yeah,
but this is
no,
what she said.
yeah, right. But I promise you, if they let her out, she's not gonna be out. She's not gonna be free. She's still gonna be like under watch, like in a mental health facility or something,
And I hope she don't get happy about that money, because America, Uncle Sam gonna find a way to get that
to
money.
get their portion.
They
Trust.
gonna find a way to take that money because you're a prisoner. They gonna find a way. You see now, this is a
Yeah,
little off topic.
yeah.
They're trying to pass a bill. I forgot what state it is. One of the states is trying to pass a bill that to where those people who participate in protests are not eligible for student loan forgiveness,
What?
regardless if it's peaceful or violent. I cannot remember what state that was. I just saw that earlier today. So Uncle Sam gonna find a way to get his. If
Right,
anything else, they gonna find a way to keep their foot on your neck.
right.
Even if you get
Hmm.
out, you can kiss that money goodbye. I don't see you ever getting that money.
Now I gotta go look that up because I didn't hear anything about that.
I said, but it's not the First Amendment. Is that
Yes,
not our First Amendment right? Now,
yes.
maybe I can understand those who are violent
Violent.
protesting and
Yeah,
looting
yeah,
and stuff like that and rioting, but
mhm,
for peaceful protests,
yeah, yeah.
it, it's
That's
giving what's the word? What's that word? What's that movie? It's giving Big Brother.
yeah, yeah. But how the heck do I mean? I guess you'd have to be charged and go to jail for them to because my thought, how can you prove that they were out there? What like I don't understand. Like,
And
but
I'm
my
wondering,
thing
like,
is,
if that's what it's based on, or is they monitoring social media accounts? Like,
mhm,
how would you? I mean, they gotta pass it first. But I said, of all the issues we have going on,
exactly, that was
of
what I was
all
getting
the
ready to
issues,
say.
this is just like the TikTok shit. Of
Yeah,
all the issues we have going on, this is where
right.
you want to put your focus.
Right. Because here's the thing, who's who's to say that you're gonna get your student loans forgiven anyway? I have been hearing about people getting their student loans forgiven, but like I haven't heard of that many, and definitely
Listen,
it's not the ones
I'm
that
doing. Go ahead.
definitely it's not the ones with big student loans like I have. I've been hearing the people with like $10,000, $12,000 of small stuff, but not no big stuff.
Listen, that's
So
why I'm doing my time with the state
exactly, like
so
that's
I can
just
get all of it forgiven. Because the baby, when I got student loans out the ass,
I know it's
and
awful,
all I can tell them people is, there's no way I could pay you back. But my
but
plan is to show you that I
that I
understand.
understand.
You are appreciated.
Seriously. But seriously, it's insane the things that they're thinking about correcting and fixing that don't even matter. You're wasting time. There's so many other things that need to be addressed in this country.
Homelessness, this
Exactly.
mess going on with abortion,
Exactly.
the economy,
Yes.
like what, why is gas and food high as
It's so
giraffe
high.
ass?
Yes.
Like, it's so much more that
Yes.
y'all could be focusing on.
Absolutely.
Then y'all keep sending money over damn seas. We need money right here,
Yeah. I need
right
another
here.
stimmy
I,
to keep it above.
like, can you do that before like Biden?
Yeah.
Hey Joe, can
Yeah.
you do that
Yeah.
before election time? That might sway. They might sway my vote.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, I was researching one time and they said that I can't remember how many billionaires we have, but they don't even have to take a billion. All of them can put together like a couple $1,000,000 and it would cure homelessness in America.
They're
And
not
I
gonna do
was
it.
like, they're so
They're
selfish,
not gonna
they're
do it.
not going to. That's
They're not gonna do
insane,
it.
but they're not going to.
That's communism. America is against communism, which to me communism makes sense. Share the wealth, but they're not gonna do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Period. Like, America is such a horrible country.
Yeah.
Like, it's real ghetto
Yeah.
here. I don't want to be here. I'm
Yeah.
only here for my family.
Yeah. Listen, I've been thinking about moving.
Listen,
Yeah.
I want to go somewhere. I don't know where, but
Yeah.
America is not it, y'all. It's not
Yeah.
it. It's not
No.
it.
And it just makes me upset because you see so many homeless people with mental health issues, and that's exactly what the hell they did. They
Yeah,
shut down all these mental health facilities in this country. I mean, there might be some, but not many,
and
and they
then
just
they
disperse
don't.
those people on the street.
And they used to have federal
Mm-hmm.
programs and stuff that covered that, but what they did was switched it over to where the state controls it, but the
Yep.
state can receive federal money. But that was a way for them to limit the amount that they're putting into these social welfare programs.
Right.
So social welfare programs, while, because I'm a part of a social welfare program, while we're trying to help the community, trying to help the people in the area, we can only do so much without the resources that we need. And a
Right.
lot of times it comes down to just simply making a referral because we can't provide the services ourselves because we don't have
Mm-hmm.
the resources to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very broken system. Very disappointing because I've been in the realm of, doing like social work and stuff like that for 6 years now. And I love what I do. I love helping people. I always have been a person that loves helping people. Don't get me wrong, but I just started really getting more into policy and stuff like that. And the policies out here for these social welfare programs are atrocious. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Like, they'll put more money into some bullshit other than something that's going to really help our economy and really help the
Improve
people. Because
the
the thing
quality of life of people.
of
Yeah.
for people, if you improve the quality of life for people, that in turn improves the economy. Like, what
Yeah.
part y'all not understanding?
Yeah, like that's more people not able to contribute to the economy and society. And that's what you want. Like
Yes.
I don't
And it's
understand.
not always. And see, the fear is that the conservatives are just more, well, I'm not even gonna say the conservatives, those who are on that side are on the fence that we shouldn't just be paying everybody away. We can't just give them all this money because then they gonna get used to it, they ain't gonna want to do this, they ain't gonna want to do that, da, da, da. That's
Yeah.
not the case at all.
Mhm.
I have seen it, in my personal my professional life. A lot of people sometimes they don't even know what's out there. They don't know they can have better. Like when you're raised from different backgrounds and you come from different cultures, it's
Mm-hmm.
different. We are not all part of the majority. Everyone is
Mm-hmm.
not that 1%.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't know what you don't know until you encounter someone like
Mm-hmm.
myself,
Yeah.
and I, lay it out on the table for you and give you your options. But even still, you have to fight tooth and nail for
Yeah.
stuff that should be given to us, like
Yeah.
disability, like
Yeah.
even long term, short term disability. People
Yeah.
having to fight for Medicare. They got to fight
Yep.
for Medicaid. They got to
Yeah.
fight for all
Yeah.
this stuff. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
sickening. Like
Yeah.
it's
Like,
disgusting.
like I had ran across a video yesterday of these babies, these twins that needed this medication, and
Yeah.
their twins, and the medication was $2 million per child. And insurance wouldn't pay for it. Of course, the family. I don't know anybody with $2 million just
Hell,
sitting
I
around
ain't got two
somewhere.
million dollars.
Yeah, and the
Like what the
family.
hell you supposed to do?
Yeah, so like I don't know how it happened, but there was a lady I follow on TikTok. She got the message out there, and then a couple hours later, somebody said they was paying for it.
Yeah,
The
praise God.
manufacturer, right? The manufacturer wasn't budging to help. It was just awful. But I mean, in that part too, on the medical side, um, medication is out the wazoo.
Hmm.
Like the cost for insurance barely pays anything anymore. It's just it really can get depressing. It
Yeah.
honestly does. um
And then you know
yeah.
what that turns into? The
Hmm.
increase in suicide rates, because
Yes. Yeah.
people are put up against a rock and a hard place,
Yeah.
a wall and a hard place. They
Yeah.
like what it's like they don't see a way out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially think of those who have mouths to feed, that have dependents, people to depend on them. That's a lot
Yeah.
of stress. That's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. That's a lot weighing them down. We don't
Hmm.
have enough mental health resources.
Mm-mm.
And then, so they can't really get effective therapy or treatment, because if you go to mental health, all they're going to do is give you a shot and send you on your way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's such a great need. Like, and
Yeah.
I really have been more on the, like I said, policy and advocacy side of things,
Yeah.
because it pisses me off.
Hmm.
And I can tell y'all know I just got real passionate through
Yeah. Yeah.
y'all can tell through this discussion, like it pisses me off.
Yeah.
But I just thank God. I thank God every day that I had the family and the upbringing that I did, because not everyone has the privilege of having that.
That's true.
And it's so sad that
Hmm.
the government that's supposed to be there to help us
They are
is
harmful in a
harming
way.
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not
Mhm.
just saying them. I've been harmed by the government before as well, in a situation where I really had dire need, like when I was a college student. So
Yeah.
I've experienced that. Like
Hmm.
it's so me, like y'all. I could go
Yeah.
on for days, but
It's so many layers to it.
yeah,
Like I said, they have their eyes and nose and everything besides what they need to.
what they need to have done.
Trying to decide what women can do with their bodies should not be your concern.
Don't get me
Um,
started on that. I done wrote a whole
yeah.
paper.
So, but we have drugged this along. Maybe we can do another
Yeah.
after show episode about this or something.
Because we really dragged. Okay, we gonna wrap
Yeah,
up. We really dragged that out. Okay.
we could talk about that all day. But
But oh, mama, girl,
yeah,
stay in
girl,
there.
yeah.
Stay in
No,
there.
you're not getting out of jail. If I have to come to your hearing myself and say I object,
Yeah, right.
do not let her ass out of
We
jail.
both we gonna both be gonna stand in the front row. Don't do it. Like Medea
Like
was
Brown,
at
like
that wedding.
Mr.
Don't
Joe.
do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
She got 2 kids. Oh,
Oh yeah. Okay.
all
This was
right,
a good
y'all.
one.
Yes. But let us know what you thought about it. Yeah, it was gory, it was gross. But y'all let us know what y'all think about it. Should they give her a second chance to let her out
Hell
of
no.
jail? Just tell us what y'all think about this
Hell no.
case. Yes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube, our Instagram, and our TikTok pages. Please, our email is always in our description box where you can send us cases, and that involves the true crime cases and also the topics you want us to discuss for our after show, whether it's celebrity gossip, if you want to send us a question, to get advice, whatever you want to discuss, please send it to us. Y'all, we gonna get out of here. We love y'all, and we will see y'all back on the next one.